So most of you know who I am by now. You've been following my story and enjoying it, and I appreciate it. As I'm on the road, I'm always thinking about what I can show you next. I decided to take the spotlight off myself, and I'd like to introduce you to 3 other truckers from different backgrounds with different stories. Each one is unique and interesting, and so I thought I would share their stories with you in this episode. We'll start out with a driver who traveled 4,000 miles from the United Kingdom to start a new life in Canada.
So I mean, European trucking is a lot different to basically North American trucking. I mean, traffic, you've got the rules and regulations are very, very different, and trucks are different, the load spec's different. Basically, a lot of it's down to the tachograph. Tachographs changed the different as well from the card we used to have, which is a wax-covered disc. It used to go into a machine inside the truck, and now it's all with a credit card. And basically, you can't start the truck until you actually put this tachograph card inside the machine, inside the truck. I remember once running around London, an 8-mile stretch. It took me 2 hours to drive. And basically, we had just had enough. Chances are to come out here in Canada, North America, to start driving, and that's what we've done. I like it here. It's a lot easier way of life. It's a lot easier way of driving, and it makes things a lot different. And a lot of pressure's off. I mean, we were under great pressure back in Britain. We had to get the load there, no matter what. And with the tachograph as well, recording our speed, our time. It was a case of really against the clock.
What is the thing that you missed the most when you're on the road?
Family's mainly what you do miss an awful lot of. Comradeship, especially on the road, especially when you're sitting down in a restaurant on your own and you're looking around. You do talk to people, but it depends if they want to talk to you, you know. I, a lot of the time, sit, have a meal, go back to the truck, and I just sit and watch a DVD or listen to the CDs on the radio, and then get ready for the following morning to get going again. I mean, I was in containers in Britain, and that was a real easy job. I mean, all I had to do was open 2 doors, back onto a dock, and sit back and have a cup of coffee in the cab.
I can't imagine flying 4,000 miles away from friends and family to a new country and starting a new life. Tony's done that. I give him props. It takes a lot of courage to do something like that. Next, I'd like to introduce you to a former driver who is now doing a job that most other drivers dread.
I drove for 12 years, been dispatching for 2.5. Every day was a new experience. It was a sense of freedom, not having somebody look over your back, go down the open road. Stop when I wanted to stop, work when I wanted to work. As long as the load got there on time, nobody bugged me in between. I miss my family the most. Having a little one, not being there for those little moments that you look forward to as a parent. That was the biggest thing.
Dispatchers get a bad rap?
Yes, they do. I know that now because I'm on the other side of the window. I think why they get a bad rap is because most of the dispatchers have never driven before. I've drove for 12 years, so I know what it's like for the driver. I'm more compassionate because I know what they have to deal with on a daily basis. I pride myself in taking care of my drivers and looking out for their needs.
Chad gave up the open road to be closer to home, closer to his family. He now essentially babysits a fleet of drivers. But Chad is probably one of the best dispatchers in the entire industry. I have to hit the road for my 3rd interview. I'd like to introduce you to a former driver, now retired. He was a driver for a long time and has a lot of great stories. How long were you a trucker for?
About 27 years.
27 years, yeah.
Yeah.
When did you get started? Like what year?
1961.
What happened with deregulation in Canada?
It caused havoc because everybody was going everywhere, and a lot of brokers started coming in, and like the big companies, and a lot of them went down, including the company I worked for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got laid off after 22 years.
How much money could a truck driver make back in the day?
It wasn't bad money, but it wasn't the best.
Right. Did you make a little more than average, or
A little more than average, yes. Yeah.
it's pretty much the same as it is now?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not big money, but it's not bad money.
What were the trucks like?
Piece
Like-
of crap.
They didn't have all the bells and whistles that we have
Piece
now.
of crap, yeah. Right on. A lot of them hardly had any, you could hardly keep warm in them, and yeah.
So no AC,
No.
hardly any heat,
No, hardly any heat.
no
yeah.
Jake brakes.
Oh no, no way.
No.
No automatics.
No.
Did bare bones truck, yeah.
Yeah.
With very little power, a lot of them, yeah.
Were they reliable, or did they break down a lot?
Broke down a lot, yeah, I broke down a lot. Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you've seen a lot of stuff in
Oh,
27 years.
lots of stuff. On the ladder on the 401, brand new refrigerator laying on the 401. All kinds of foreign objects that cause havoc. Yeah.
They didn't have logbooks or
No
hours of
log
service.
books, no, never.
You essentially could drive as much as you wanted in a day.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Like you could drive 20 hours and sleep.
I drove all day long and then all night long, and I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time did you start that day?
8 o'clock.
It's almost 20 hours.
Yeah.
What was the general public's opinion of truckers back then?
They weren't very good, eh? No, they were low-life people. Yeah.
So truckers didn't have a good reputation?
No, they had no reputation at all. No.
Like, did you see any change in that over your 27 years? Or?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. They kind of took a different view, but yeah, truckers were, way back then, it was not very good.
Why did you get out of trucking?
Well, I became disabled.
With what?
I got syringomyelia,
And what's that?
spinal disease, fluid in the spine.
Okay.
They say I was born with it, and I was dropping a trailer one day, GE, and I was pulling the pin, and it slipped, and I hit myself against the brick wall, knocked myself out. And then they sent me to a specialist in Toronto. He says, I know what's wrong with you. He said, you got syringomyelia. Yeah? What's that? So he explained it to me. And he operated on me, and it worked out pretty good. And I drove for 20 years after that, and then I got so I couldn't hardly walk. But I worked the last year like that. Had to, when it come dark, I had to turn the interior light on so I could see where my legs was.
Oh, really?
I didn't know where my legs was when I couldn't see. Closed my eyes, yeah, they were gone.
Couldn't feel them.
Couldn't feel them.
And you're still driving?
I was still driving, yeah. Yeah.
George devoted 27 years of his life to trucking. Chad devoted 12 years of his life to trucking and still serves the industry as a dispatcher. And Tony, a new driver in this country, is still trucking to this day.